Warning, the following may contain undead baby shadow dwarves. Join fantasy authors Phil Tucker, Timandra Whitecastle, David Benem, Benedict Patrick, and Josiah Bancroft as they roll dice and take on the bad guys in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. 5 authors, 5 worlds, 1 adventure. It's time to get crit-faced. Previously on Crit-Faced, the party have made their way to the Blue Water Inn in the town of Valaki, trying to get the lay of the land and to find out any information they can about their missing companion. The group spreads out to question the locals. It is Master Sunna's turn to approach a pointy-eared stranger.
Yes.
You are approaching this guy at the bar who's having a chat with the bartender, although the bartender heads off to chat with Madame Rousseau, so he's left by himself. You see he's got a cup of wine in his hand and he's just sort of staring over the bar, looking at the glasses, seems to be lost in thoughts.
So I approach him from the side and say, "Well met, fellow traveller."
So he turns to you, seems a bit surprised at being addressed. So he's quite a thin guy, older, you would say mid-40s, maybe early 50s, but really well preserved. You get the impression he's not, seen. He's not like in comparison with the wolf pelt guys. This guy is used to sort of nicer establishments, and he gives you a smile, and he nods his head at you, and he says, "Well met. How can I help you today, my good lady?" And you can see he's sort of studying your clothing, trying to figure out what exactly is going on here. You're a bit, you stand out. So,
well, I have travelled here from a very far, far away country, and you seem to me to not fit in here as well. So I'm looking for someone that could maybe give me like the lay of the land. Perhaps you can help.
Well, it strikes me that if you're looking for someone who can give you the lay of the land, then maybe you want somebody who fits in a bit better than you or I. You can show a wee smile, there's a wee twinkle of mischievousness there in his eye.
And tell me, have you been here for a longer time?
Why don't we start?
Celebration.
Why don't we start with introductions? My name is
Yes.
Rictavio. Good day to you. And he offers his hand to you to shake it.
Okay. I shake it back and say, "My name is Master Sunna Orsoline. I'm from the city of Babuk. Where are you from?"
I'm from here and there, I've been here in the valley just for about a month, though. Just making my name in Valaki, trying to figure out where to go next. I get the impression that's going to be quite difficult from what I've picked up from the locals.
How so?
The impression they seem to give me is that once you come to this lovely valley of Barovia, it's quite difficult to leave.
I too have made this experience.
Trying to figure out a way around that myself at the moment, but these guys are looking after me, and he indicates the inn, so I'm pretty comfortable at the moment.
And how do you... We met a man on the street who said that there are a number of celebrations that they are accustomed to celebrating here on a weekly basis, it seems.
Yeah, that's a bit of an oddity, isn't it?
It is. It sounds very strange. Have you any background information on why the people here would do so?
Oh, I've been looking into it. From what I gather, the Baron, the Burgomaster, he seems to think it's important. He seems to think it's got something to do with this Strad von Sarovich fellow, and it keeps him away. Keep everyone happy. Keep everyone happy. All the bad stuff stays out. From what I can tell, it's working.
That makes sense. And it does seem to be working. And actually, Valaki seems very fortified and a strong place. So
it does.
We actually came along with my my female companion Irina.
Yeah.
She's a very striking young noblewoman, but we lost her along the way. Did you happen to see her?
I've not seen any new striking young noblewomen. Most of the time, you'll find that the nobles, the few noble families there are, keep to themselves. One or two, and he nods over to the Watcher brothers, who were pointed out to Jean and Kellen. One or two of them do come down here and slum it with the rest of us, but most of them stay out of our way. Too better for we're not good enough for them, I guess.
Well, this is so in any world.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Can I buy you a drink, sir?
Well, I'm doing quite well on this one, but if you knock another up, I'll finish it off at some point today before I perform.
Oh, you are a performer.
It was my gear not clear enough. Yeah, I'm the local entertainer. That's why they put me up here in the Blue Water Inn. I am a bard, and I keep this in jumping in the evening. So
I happen to know someone who's also of your persuasion.
Well, do me a favor and keep the competition away, won't you? Not too many inns around here, and as I said already, I'm sitting pretty comfortably right now. I'd like to stay that way.
So do you perform here at the inn, or do you perform at these celebrations?
No, here at the inn. The Baron, I've not actually met the Baron yet. Probably best to keep it that way, I think. I'm happy here, hanging out for a little bit. I'll move on eventually once I've figured out how to do that.
Can you tell me if you have you ever met someone called Jenny Greenteeth? Does she come? Have you seen her around? Maybe you would notice because she has green teeth.
Is it she has green teeth? Is this the noble you were telling me? That's quite unusual.
No, she's a very unusual woman, actually.
You seem to know a lot of unusual women.
I do. You know, it's fascinating people you meet when you travel.
I've been learning that my whole life, and I'm experiencing it right now.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, that was a compliment.
Oh, you were much better at this than another bard.
Oh, maybe I don't mind if he comes in, if that's the kind of individual you're speaking about. Listen, I will happily enjoy a drink on your behalf. Thank you. If you could ask Danica to serve me up a Red Dragon Crush, that would be fantastic. And I'll sing one for you later tonight, Master Summit.
Where exactly will you sing me one?
Here, in the Blue Water Inn.
Okay, just clarify.
There we go. Okay, thank you very much. And yeah, enjoy.
Thank you for the conversation.
Okay. All right, so we head to Lord Talfrin. Lord Talfrin, are you there?
I am.
Oh, okay. Are you going to head over to the nobles?
Could you describe them again?
Yeah. Would you want to take a wee moment just to do a wee insight check then, if you're taking time to study them a wee bit?
20. That'll do the trick.
Ooh.
Okay, 20. So, yeah, you can tell you get the impression they're not that nice, to be honest. Just after a few minutes of studying them, just the way they treat the boys and Danica, the innkeep, when she comes to the table, you know, you can tell they're the stereotypical nobles slumming it here with the everyday man. You know, they do think that they're better. They don't mind being louder. They don't mind being ruder because they seem to think that they can get away with it.
I'm going to cast Charm Person on whichever one seems to be the leader of the two.
Yeah, okay. Will you just remind us what do people around about see as you cast Charm Person?
I am immediately wreathed in flames. Billowing smoke fills the room.
Cool.
No. You attempt to charm. They must make a wisdom saving throw. Does so with advantage if you're fighting or not. If it fails, it's charmed by you. The charm will friendly acquaintance.
Okay.
Components, verbal and somatic. So I guess I just have to say something and wiggle my fingers
Yeah.
from 30 feet away.
Okay. So you do wisdom saving throw. Now, he actually succeeds. So what happens? What does he? Well, I imagine he succeeds because he gets 23.
Yeah.
So is there text there for what happens if? Does it say what happens if?
No, only when the spell ends do they know that they were charmed. But if I fail, then nothing happens.
Okay. Well, we're gonna say. I think we'll say then that. The one, so one of them is dark haired, one of them is blonde. It was the blonde that you were charming, and he's not overly aware of what's. I mean, I imagine if he was a magic user, he'd probably be able to figure out what was happening to him. But he does look up as if he's experiencing some, like a deja vu type sensation, and then he looks over and he notices you there staring at him, and he points at you and he goes, "Hey, you! What's your problem?"
I raise my hand affably, as if he had invited me of his own sort of good graces. And I come over and I give a bow as if to an equal. And I say, my name is Lord Talfrin. I am a member of the noble caste where I come from, much as you yourselves are. And seeing as the rest of the room here does not seem quite to our standards, I thought I would introduce myself and perhaps you could give me the lay of the land, as it were.
Am I right in saying you're a noble? That's what your background is. So, isn't it? Do you have a position of privilege feature based on that? Am I right in saying that's your background is noble?
No.
No.
Yes, it is. It is. It says here noble.
Yeah. So, one of the benefits of that is you're basically welcome in high society, and those people always assume that you've got the right to be where you are, and people of high birth treat you as a member of the same social sphere. So, okay, so as soon as you say that, basically they say, "All right, don't recognize you from around here. Are you? Come on and join us. Come on and join us. What did you say your name was again?"
Lord Talfrin Blackoak. Pull out my chair.
Lord Blackoak.
Take a seat.
Lord Blackoak, come on down and join us. Oh, Mum's going to be so excited to hear that we've met someone else. Lord Blackoak, where are you from then, if you're not from Vallaki?
I'm from a faraway land. I believe that there are many of my kind who are pulled into Ravenloft by these pernicious mists. I'm sure you have heard of this occurring before.
Yeah, you hear stories, but it doesn't really affect us that much. That's pretty interesting, though. So, what do you think of Vallaki? Pretty good, right?
You are a celebratory lot, and I admire the festive spirit that animates you all.
Yeah.
To be true, we've only been in town for an hour or so.
All right.
And I was wondering if you could tell me what you think of the Burgomaster. Is he our kind, or is he going to be problematic to a visiting dignitary from a far land who's remarkably wise and charismatic?
You can tell straight away, as soon as you ask about the Burgomaster, you can tell that their demeanour sort of changes and they freeze up a wee bit and they become a bit more guarded. And they go, right, the Burgomaster, well, have you met him? Who asked you to ask us about him?
I have just arrived in town. I was told that he is in charge and inevitably I must make my own introductions, but I have not yet had the pleasure, as it were.
Right. So why would you want to talk to him then?
Because it is customary for any noble visiting a city to introduce himself to the ruling power. Is that not how it is done here in Ravenloft? In Vallaki?
I guess so. Fair enough. Yeah. Well, what do you think so far? What do you think? You've been here a little bit. What do you think of what he's doing?
Like I said, a festive man.
Have you seen much of that back in your distant land, Lord Blackoak?
No.
No, I didn't think so. Well, some people think it's good. Some people aren't that happy about it.
And do you have a camp in which you belong, or... I wave my hand. Obviously, you wouldn't tell a stranger. Never mind. Let us put the matter of the Burgomaster aside. Your names?
My name's Nikolai. This is Carl. We are Watchers. That's not a job. That's our family name. The Watchers.
It's an honor to meet you.
Yeah.
Have you by chance seen another noble lady? She preceded our arrival. And I go ahead and describe Irina.
Nope, doesn't sound familiar. We don't really get a lot of unfamiliar faces coming in and out of Vallaki. We kind of keep to ourselves. Vistani aren't welcome here. We do have people like those guys. And he points over at the hunters that Kellen and Jean were talking to. We have those guys. They come in and out. But we tend not to get too many new faces. Other than that weird elf guy over there. Pointing at...
I lean forward a little bit and I say, listen, between three of us, I know it's often hard to speak honestly. There are so many ears on so many different heads, often orienting towards us. But would you offer any advice to a fellow nobleman, a traveling companion of the road, as it were, as to the Burgomeister? Should I not approach him, or should I, if I were to approach him, how best should I do so? And please, be frank, be honest. Speak to me as if I were an honorary watcher.
Do you want to make a persuasion check?
I would love... That's what I was angling for. 16 plus 6 is a 22.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, let's just say not everyone's a big fan of what he's doing. And you might not want to spend all your time allying yourself with someone who mightn't always be holding that position.
I tap the side of my nose and I give a significant tug of my ear to make sure that I understand.
Carl, the younger one, he sort of gasps when Nikolai says that. He goes, Nikolai, you can't. Mom's going to kill you. And Nikolai says, shut up, Carl. Not if you don't tell her, she won't.
I nudge Carl in the ribs like, not if the Burgomeister gets him first, hey?
What? Wait, what?
Oh, I'm just joking. Well,
right.
Interesting. But I appreciate it, and I believe that my friends and I may soon inadvertently, perhaps even accidentally, prove a force to be reckoned with in this town.
Right.
And I will not forget the wise words you have shared with me, the Watcher family.
Yep.
I think your star is ascendant.
Right.
Are you into cosmology?
Not really, no. Excuse me. And you can see Nikolai is worried here because Carl is slightly freaking out a wee bit. So Nikolai sort of stands up and he grabs Carl by the scruff of his neck. And he says, excuse me, Lord Blackoak, pleasure to meet you. I will look out for you later.
Indeed.
Do be safe and keep your mouth shut. And
that is my modus operandi.
Carl,
I never talk to strangers.
Carl, we need to talk. And Nikolai drags Carl out off the inn. Guys, do you want to reconvene? Have we?
Yes, we had to reconvene. So that seemed like it
I
went
have
very
a
well.
table. I have a table. I gesture everyone to come to the nobles' now empty table and join me. They left their drinks, no doubt.
Oh my goodness! I do love a stranger's drink.
So we all huddle over and no sign of Irina.
What did we learn? Specifically, I wanted to know what did we learn about that? Obviously, very inept actor, or maybe a singer. Is that what? I mean, some sort of obviously a charlatan or a fraud. Not a charlatan, but just a fraud. We didn't like him at all, did we?
Can I roll insight on him as I study the man at the bar?
Yeah, sure. Master Son, what were you saying?
I was just going. He seems to be in a similar predicament as we are. So maybe
yes, but obviously tone deaf. Tone deaf, and probably obviously very very bizarre fashion sense. I mean, look at him. That's not.
But if it were not for his fashion sense, then we wouldn't have noticed him to be different.
Lord Talfin, what was your insight roll on Rictavio?
A 10.
Yeah. No, I mean he seems to fit. To be honest, he doesn't seem to be particularly concerned with anything like he was saying to Master Sonna. He seems to be happy enough to be here at the moment. Just seems to be quite relaxed.
What was his name?
Rictavio.
Rictavio. Rictavio. I mean, I ask you, have you ever heard of a more irritating stage name than Rictavio? I'm going to call him Ricky. The minute I get to, I'm going to go over there and talk to him right now. He thinks that he's, I'm sure, a competent singer, but this town has not heard a true tenor. I have a sweet, pure tenor voice. It's startling.
He seems, if anything, comfortable in his skin, confident, at ease. I would imagine he is a well-known local that we should not antagonize.
He doesn't
he could probably
disguise himself.
Imagine the tales he could spread about us if we were to antagonize.
Oh, right. So, Master Suna, what did you learn from this cad?
Not much. So Irina is not here, and I do not think that he has any inkling about a magpie king. He didn't even seem to know about Jenny Greenteeth, so I didn't press the matter. Also, he mentioned that the burgomaster is apparently a very festive type of person who thinks he's doing this to protect Vallaki from Strahd.
Interesting. Kellen and I learned where the burgomaster lives, so I think that is useful.
Is he in his house?
I presumed.
So good work.
Is it the biggest house in this town?
All right, we all had our part to play.
Settle down. We're just tweaking your concertina, as it were.
Don't push my buttons.
Not without a monkey on hand.
What about you, Lord Talfern? Yes.
Well, it seems that the burgomaster does not have the support of the Watcher family at any rate. These pestiferous noblemen. They are saying that he is not long to rule.
But hopefully until next week and the celebration of the Blazing Suns, because that's really got my interest.
I know. I fear that this being Ravenloft, we're all in for sore disappointment.
And no sign of Our Lady.
None.
I mean, Irina. I asked as well.
Benedict, is there like a principal bartender or someone like that?
Oh yeah, so there just seems to be the lady Danica that Madame Rousseau had served the hunters. She seems to be the only one actually that's there. Her boys are running around, but she seems to be the main one.
I raise my cane and waggle it enticingly so that she knows to come to our table.
That's not how you... Oh, my goodness. He's obviously never worked in the service industry. You do not waggle a cane at the barkeep. That's not how you do it.
You do if it's topped off with a nugget of gold such as this one. I shove it in your face.
So
see it?
She sees you, she raises her hand and gives you a wee smile and makes her way around. She goes, "Hi, how can I help?"
First of all, I just want to say it was a lovely cup of whatever the wine mash. It was lovely. We all enjoyed it. We have a few questions.
Yes. Do we know in character that her name is Lady Danica, or is that just how we were?
Yes, I know.
Okay. Lady Danica, we were sent to your inn by a rather curt, if rather abrasive young man. Dressed all in black and white. He sort of flew in, as it were.
Okay.
Dropped in upon us, told us in rather snide terms to present ourselves here.
Stop what you're saying.
And
stop what you're saying.
Despite the fact that we were interested in exploring a windmill, insisted until we left and made our way here.
She's got her hands on her hips now and she's rolling her eyes.
As you can see, we have made good upon our promise.
I think
we have presented ourselves here upon your premises, and if you would be so kind.
Please let the lady speak.
Lord Talford lowers his head to the table and passes out.
Okay. I think you want to speak to my husband. He is busy in the kitchen at the moment. But if you wait until we're finished serving the last of the meals, I think he'll speak to you.
Meal sounds like an excellent idea.
May I ask a question before you head off?
Certainly.
Would you like to have your fortune told? I am a fortune teller, and I am a teller of fortunes.
Yes, I'd be delighted if it's not going to take too long.
No, we do have like just 2 minutes.
Okay, please do.
All right, so the first thing is I need you to sit down and show me your palms.
Okay, so she sort of motions over to the two boys to make sure that they go behind the bar. Someone's up looking for a drink, so she motions over to them to do so. And she sits down. You can see with her smile, she's a wee bit, taken aback, pleasantly taken aback by all of this. Okay, here you go.
It's all right. This is just perfectly normal. I just oh my goodness.
Boy, what is it? What do you see?
What? You seem like someone who is lacking something or desiring of something. Is that right?
That sounds like me, yes.
Yes. I can see it not clearly, but foggily.
Right.
There is something that is disturbing you, something that upsets you.
Oh my goodness, yes.
What might that be?
Oh, it was my mother. My mother.
Oh, of course, your mother, and what a wonderful woman she was, right?
That's right.
She was
wonderful.
Lovely woman.
Yes.
Yes. What? This seems to have been a different place at some point, a different sort of place. What has happened?
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't you feel it? There's a change that's come over.
Well, it might have been our house down the road, perhaps. Would that be it?
No. There's a broader change to the city itself.
Oh, okay. I'm afraid
You don't feel this at all? Like it used to be a place of wonder and youthful vibrance, and recently it's become sort of, I don't know, cold.
Well, the festivals are getting a bit samey, I guess.
Well, and the cause of these festivals seems sort of sinister, doesn't it?
Well, the last one did involve lots of wolf heads on spikes. I guess that was a bit weird.
Yes, I see blood and wolves and fur and moans and howling.
Oh, so a little bit of howling, I guess. Yeah, that was quite fun, actually.
Yeah, it's fun in the moment, but in the next morning you're very hoarse and, well, I do see 10 more years of happiness, and then 15 years of retirement, and then 5 years of bed rest, 2 years of absolute misery and death.
Sorry, what was that? What? Sorry?
I was predicting your future. I thought that were like that's what you wanted, right?
Well, it was very specific.
Well, yeah, I'm a fortune teller. If I were vague and said like you shall live amount of time and die as is your want, that would not be very impressive. But yeah, no, you have absolutely 37 years left. Right. So yes.
Okay. Right.
Lord Talfrin, while her attention is firmly on our charlatan, I cast prestidigitation so that the lines of her palm briefly glow golden as it's held in his hand.
Right.
Just like a little innocent, innocuous little effect, just to help bolster his act.
Oh my! Did you see that? Did you see that?
I did. Of course I saw that. And I think it just goes to show that we are very trustworthy people, the sort of people that you should tell everything to. So the other thing I was curious about is there a shop that sells magic daggers?
What?
It's just a general question.
Excuse me. This is a lot for me to deal with right now. How long did you say? Tell me the good news.
37 years, the last 2 are going to be horrible. I would just brace yourself. Just.
Oh my. Well, I guess 37 is a long time.
In disapproval, Lord Talfrin creates an odd odor start coming from him. From Lord
It's called
Calvin.
farting.
From Jean Mallarmé. Like,
Oh, thank you.
Things seem to be unraveling.
like sort of like a
considerably earlier than normal.
sulfurous, like rotten egg smell, because I don't like what he's doing to this poor lady. So precipitation allows me to create an odd odor that can last up to an hour. So he starts to just sort of exude
I
a
had
subtle
cauliflower
scent
cheese
of
for
rotten
lunch.
eggs.
It's unfortunate, an unfortunate thing, but with wisdom comes fragrance.
Flatulence.
I'll see to my husband and I'll let you know when. I'll let you know when he's available. And she stands up, and you can see that she's quite spooked by the whole experience and the growing smell. And she signals to the boys to keep taking care of the bar. And pale faced, she makes her way into the door that presumably leads to the kitchen.
I was this close, Lord Toffrin, to finding out where the store of magic daggers is.
2 years of atrocious agony at the end of her life. Are you serious? Was that necessary?
Probably true. Actually, I think she has 4 or 5 years left at best. I mean, that woman, this life is not kind.
Okay, so a few minutes later, Danica comes back. Now, her face is thunderous, and her gaze is directed straight to Madame Eva. And
Rousseau.
Madame Rousseau. Madame Rousseau. And she walks straight up to the table, looks straight at you, and she says, "My husband will see you now."
Excellent.
Now, she's no longer looking scared. She's looking right at you, not happy.
Crit Faced is a weekly Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To make sure you never miss an episode, and to get an exclusive prequel episode of the podcast, where you can find out what our characters were up to before this adventure began, head over to critfacedpodcasts.com and join our Crit Faced fan group.